Hey everyone, welcome back. And this is my review of Garo the Animation, Episode 10. Okay, two things I have to say here before I really delve into this review, right? First off, Garo is finally getting back on track. Right? It's finally getting back on track. And what I mean by that is that instead of this episodic, I don't want to say bullshit because all the episodes so far have at least been entertaining to a certain extent. So I don't want to say episodic bullshit. But enough of this episodic stuff here, right? We're fine, Monster of the Week type stuff, We're finally getting back to the main plot here, which is good because I think there's only supposed to be like 2 or 3 more episodes left in the series. So yeah, they better really get to the main plot here. And secondly, at least I think that this is by far the best episode in the series so far. For many reasons, alright? The biggest one being that we finally learned the backstory of Mendoza, the main villain of this series. Yeah, go figure, right? Now, his backstory was kind of confusing for me, not because I couldn't really follow it very well, but because, I don't know whether I should sympathize with him or not. Because there's parts where I definitely do sympathize, not really sympathize with him. Sympathize with him means more like I understand what he's going through, and I really don't. But, thankfully. But, there's parts where I kind of feel sorry for him, and other parts where it's like he seems like a generic villain, and I really don't know, I really don't know what I should feel here, alright? And maybe that was the intention, I don't know, but usually when that's the intention, they'll clear it up later on, so hopefully they do. But anyways, though, basically Mendoza was I'm guessing like a Makai alchemist, and a pretty prominent one as well, but he committed a grave sin, which had to do with corruption, basically, because he believed that he wanted to bring all Makai alchemists and Makai knights to, I'm guessing, to eternity, to eternity, and to do so, he believed that basically that Makai knights and Makai alchemists were all above regular human beings. So in that regard, that's definitely something like a generic, inexcusable villain would say, hands down. All right. And so because of his actions, he was cursed. Now, at first, he didn't really understand the gravity of the curse. Basically, these markings would appear on his body, these red markings all over his body. And so, at first, I didn't even understand the full curse at first, because at first I thought it was just, well, maybe if he tries to have a child with anyone who's like a Makai Knight or a Makai Alchemist, then they'll be cursed. Because it said his descendants will be cursed, but I thought it was just if he had a child, tried to have descendants with Makai Knights or the Makai Alchemists. That's what I thought at first, and I think that's probably what he thought at first as well. However, we see him wallowing in his anguish at first, which looks really fucked up, mind you. And then he becomes like a wandering priest or something, I guess. And this part right here is kind of confusing as well, because much of it seems like he's trying to redeem himself, like he had a change of heart and whatnot. But then he says that he unleashed horrors on them, so that their numbers would be dropped. The enemy soldiers that he was helping defeat with the new kingdom that he went to or whatever. All right, so that part was kind of confusing as well. But either way, though. He ended up falling in love with the ruler or the leader of this kingdom, not the leader, but falling in love with his daughter, basically. And I'm guessing they married, and they had a child, and the child was cursed. That's when not only Mendoza, but also we as the viewers kind of understood what this curse on Mendoza really meant. Alright? That it wasn't just if he tried to have descendants with Makai Knights or Makai Alchemists. It was if he tried to have descendants with anyone, they would be cursed till the end of time. Damn. And when he looked at his newborn child with those marks all over his body, he finally snapped. And the marks came all over his body as well, once again. And he took out his sword, and I'm guessing he killed the child and his wife. Alright. And basically started with his ultimate goals right after that. Whew. Dear God. And, so in some ways I do feel sorry for Mendoza. I really do, in certain ways. But in other ways it's like, it's not, on the surface it seems like all he's after is revenge. But I definitely think that it's deeper than that. Alright? I definitely think he's after more than revenge. I think what he seems to be after is like, he wants to destroy, because he believed, he had his own views on how to achieve eternity. However, the Makai Knights and Makai Alchemists believed that in order to reach eternity, you would have to just have proper descendants and pass your lineage down to them, and that was their own eternity. And he thought that was basically bullshit. He really did. So what he wants to do is destroy their eternity by destroying their descendants. That's what he wants to do. That's his goal. So it's kind of revenge, but it's still basically revenge. It really is. But it's a bit deeper than that. Alright, it's basically his ideology clashing with their ideology. Unfortunately, this doesn't seem like the type of series which is going to really bring up the ideologies too much by the climax. And I really wish that they would, because if done right, it could be really amazing. But I highly doubt that they will. Although, of course, I could be completely wrong about that too. You never know. But either way, though, overall, I thought this was a fantastic episode. It really was. Another interesting thing, though, is that when he's talking with that female subordinate of his, he agrees that she can work under him, but she tells him not. He tells her not to touch him, and I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's. I have two theories on that. It could be because maybe if someone touches him, the markings will reappear again, or maybe he just doesn't want to get close to any woman again because he still has bitter feelings about his dead wife, or maybe it's a combination of both reasons. Who knows? But either way, though. Tell me your thoughts about this episode in the comment section below. If you've yet to see this week's episode of Garo the animation, then I definitely recommend that you do. I cannot wait until next week's episode. This episode was fantastic. Alright, it really was top to fucking bottom. Best episode in the series so far, I honestly think. So anyways, overall, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.